Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining me today again on this fresh episode of Embracing Paganism as we talk about Diabolism and African spirituality, the correlation between the two of them. And I think it's high time we begin to set the record straight for people who will do everything in their power to blackmail you and I for being real to ourselves and going back to the basics, and also following the ancient pathway to obtaining the freedom that was once snatched away from us. I'm not going to take much of your time, but before we go on, as we used to, ẹ já ṣe ìbàlọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ní ilé ayé, ìbàlọ́wọ́ alára, ìbàlọ́wọ́ ajérò, ìbàlọ́wọ́ ọ̀rọ̀pin ilé ìlà, àwọn tó jáwé ká tó jáwé, àwọn tó wégbò ká tó wégbò, àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ wá kó tó di pé adélé ayé, a ṣe bá gbogbo ìlàkàkà àti ilé kókó wọn kí ìlú bá lè túṣẹ́ kó lè túbà. A ṣe bá omi, a ṣe bá afẹ́fẹ́, a ṣe bá gbogbo àwọn ládéládé, oyún ilé, àtẹ́ẹ̀dí, aláròká, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn, gbogbo yín pátápátá ńlá àṣebà. A ò fojú pa ẹnìkankan rẹ́ nílẹ̀ yìí lọ́wọ́ àbókè òkun àṣebà rẹ́. Àwọn ìyá ọ̀pá pé àlàkẹ́, arógbá aṣọ má balẹ̀, a fún wọn nígbà tí wọ́n pẹ̀lú kójú wá ṣe. A ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ sọ́bótò lónìí, káwa ó má fẹsẹ̀ lẹ̀ ká máa fẹ́nu kọ láyé fún àbàdà. As we're saying, back to basics today. Abọ́yẹ̀bọ́ ṣíṣẹ́ fún àwọn tí wọ́n mọ babaláwo kí. What is the correlation between diabolism and African spirituality? We need to get to that spot, or the spot, so we can clearly own or embrace paganism. Before the 1900s, they brought Islam, Christianity, and the rest. Note that there's a way of life that your ancestors and my ancestors embraced. And there was never in the record of our people that there was a brimstone from one sky or heaven by a divine God that lives in the sky, killing your ancestor and my ancestors. They live in peaceful coexistence. And they might want to also tell you that in those days we were barbarians that were fighting wars and killing each other. Do not ever forget to also remind them that they were also living in the cave. And the duality of life is that in the midst of people, even in the animal kingdom, there are things we call wrong and right. There are things we call evil or good. There are things we call positivity and negativity. It will always exist in the plane of the universe. I wanted to mistakenly say until the world comes to an end, but I would like to inform you, good news, the world is not coming to an end. It will not come to an end. And to chip it in, rapture is never going to take place. Nobody is coming from the sky where you are wasting your time. You better live a good life. And in this concept of life, you know, we don't reckon with heaven or hell. We reckon with sowing and reaping. If you like, mess up the world, you will reap it. And I've also must have told you that there is nothing like generational curse in this concept of life. No, nobody inherits your own whatever. There's generational pattern. There is you inheriting the enemies of your parents, who are attacking you because of the envy they have for your parents, and also for the fact that you came from a certain family. There are some issues you might face in life, but that is a generational curse. No, everybody reap what they sow. So they said we are practicing animism. That's their own way of blackmailing you and telling you and I that we are very close to the animals. Remember, there's a certain guy, is he ducking or whatever? He said that we are cousins to apes, to the monkeys and all. Unfortunately, we were talking about the mitochondria Eve, which is a gene found in mainly African women, and they also trace their own ancestry to we, the black people. So if they say we are cousins to apes and we are their own ancestors, then we are all animals. Unfortunately, we are not animals, we are humans. They first blackmail us by saying we practice animism. Then they say it is paganism. Then gradually, when someone like you and I begin to sprout up and we know better and we redefine what paganism means, and we begin to brag about our paganism, it is our paganism, not their paganism. Abi? There's something I always hear my people say when I was growing up. They say, "Ẹ̀sìn ò pé ká má ṣorò ìdílé." Ẹ̀sìn is religion. Orò ìdílé is spirituality. So maybe you don't know, you might need to differentiate between religion and spirituality. So those are two different things. What they do is religion, a certain set of doctrines given to them by some set of folks for the personal benefit of those people who spirituality is creating gods. So when I am very careful to say African spirituality. I've never used African religion. No, I'm so careful about that. Religion is a rhetoric practices of some laid down rules and regulations of some set of folks who want you to live life according to their own concept alone. If you go beyond it, then you become an outcast. This is spirituality. Spirituality deals with creating, multiplying, procreating, and manufacturing gods, such that the whole planet is filled with so much God. You are God and I'm God. We are all Orishas. And when you embrace this way of life, I noticed that one of the major challenge that most of our people have is that first they are scared of it, and they also, the reason why they are scared is because people are going to blackmail them and also emotionally taunt them and call them several names. Most people want everybody to embrace African spirituality in their circle, but they are not proud to say to anybody that they are practicing African spirituality. Just few of us who are very proud and bold enough to say we pull out of Islam and Christianity successfully because we have now we want to go back to the basis, the root where we find our peace, and we don't want to practice it as a secret cult. African spirituality is not a secret cult. We are not cultists. Cultists do things that people must not know. We are not cultists. We are not robbers. We are not here to kill, to steal, and to destroy. We are not cultists. We are not into a kind of order that people cannot know. We are human and we are gods. And so in embracing African spirituality, one of the challenges you face is that people will come against you, and because you don't want to lose out of the association of people. I noticed that one thing that people do in churches and mosques is that they go to make association. It's like another cooperative society. So you need help, someone is already there when you want to do party people and your party and all of those things. And it's difficult for people to leave because they will lose out on people. People are scared to be alone, and only lonely people discover themselves. I say it again, people are scared to be alone, but only lonely people discover themselves. There is one set of abnormality that comes on you in your moment of quietness, and you realize that the things that you are blind to before, you begin to see them clearly. But people who are struggling to be adopted like an orphan, they want to be accepted, they need approval at all cost. So even when they know what is right, they don't want to pull out of such organized religion. And spirituality is about creating gods. I keep repeating so that it can sink in. And then when you embrace this way of life and you begin to go all out for it, imagine you holding a fowl or a pigeon or a duck and saying some few words to it, and things begin to happen. And or you tell your folks every year that I'm going to Okeitase, where we normally do the Ifa, or you tell your folks I'm going to Oshun Festival, or I want to go and meditate. Let's say, no, I'm going for a retreat or a picnic, and your choice of destination is Oshun River, Oba River, Yemoja River, and all of those things. So you just drive out of your house one night and you go to the beach and you stay by the river to commune with the spirit of the water overnight. People will begin to say, okay, but boy, you are diabolic. He's very diabolic. She's diabolic. I have this thing in my car. This is Ajeolokun. You can see it. Irinṣẹ́ gidi ni. Àfi ṣiṣẹ́ àṣírí bíbò àti ṣe ajé. This is something like that. there's another side of my car. I have the where your courage, and I have all these things. Imagine you get into my car, maybe I'm giving you a lift, just trying to paint a real life scenario, and you begin to notice all of these things in my car. You easily just call me a ritualist, or all those things that Nollywood painted for you. But these are to condition my environment. If you get into my car with your bad luck, if you arm yourself with crucifix, the sign of the crucifix, you see people flaunt it very well. By this mirror of their car, they put their tesbih, they put their rosary, and they put their stickers, keep of Holy Spirit is in charge, and all of those things. They put their Goya oil, the mantle, everything they have, they flash it over your face. They don't say they are diabolical. But when you put all of these things in your car or around your house, or you train your children to reason this way, they will say they are diabolical. And that brings us to the spot of trying to define what is diabolism. Diabolism is doing what others cannot do, given the same time, space, and chance. Can I say that again? Diabolism is doing what others cannot do, especially metaphysical stuff or supernatural stuff that others cannot do, given the same space, time, chance, and equal opportunity. So let's further define diabolism this way. I'm a teacher. That's what Babalawo does, to make you understand what is mystical. I'm in this car right now. Let's say we have 1 or 2 people in this car with me, and something want to happen, and suddenly I disappear out of the car. You know what they will say? They will say I'm diabolic. Why? Because the evil that befell them did not befall me. I found my way out. Just for the knowledge I possess to be able to disappear when others are falling into calamity. Are you with me? So you need to come to terms that everyone is diabolical in their own way. Either you are a Christian, Muslim, whatever you think you practice. You go to churches and mosques, those are shrines too. You can rename them as mosque or church or temple or whatever you call it. That's your shrine. That's a place where you go to get spiritual fortification. And for the sake of Jesus, most of you embrace this Jesus because you have been brainwashed to think that when you mention the name of this Jesus, evil will just go and everything will stop. People have been mentioning the name of Jesus in plane crash. People have been shouting Tabati Ada Abelabi. So when you go to your own shrine and you obtain this weapon of supernatural protection, it is not diabolical to you. But when I go to my own shrine and I come up with all these things to protect me, you say I'm diabolical. Diabolism is plainly lack of your own knowledge. You will tag me as diabolical because you don't have the knowledge of nature and how the universe runs that I have. But let's take a look at it this way. Reverse the case. There's about to be a crash, and the 3 of us in the car will disappear together. Do you know that you will not call it, they will not call it diabolism that way, they will call it power. So we will now go back to the basis. I'm a teacher, so we say diabolism is a power that you do not have access to. So until you have access to such power that they have access to, you will keep saying they are diabolical. And unfortunately, there is no way you can practice African spirituality and not be powerful. Power existed before human. But African spirituality put you in a position of mastering all the power that exists. So the power to do this, the power to do that, the knowledge. You know, they say knowledge is power. So African spirituality is going through the school of power, knowledge, to be able to talk to nature, speak to nature, and manipulate things. So the moment all of us possess the knowledge to do and undo, nobody is diabolical anymore. We begin to say it's power. So when you are disenfranchised from the power of nature, everyone that possesses the same power and knowledge are called diabolical to you. And it is so unfortunate that the people that tell you to call me diabolical will never hand over the power I have to you. Instead of you, kó dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó rí ẹ pé kó má jẹ́ kọ́pọ̀lọ́ ẹ dọ́ta kó wá bẹ̀ mí pé kí n kọ́ ẹ. You will keep blackmailing me. Ìpàkọ́ òsì gbọ́sùtì, orí ẹlẹ́gàn ló dàrú. You will keep blackmailing me, but then you have forgotten that I'm black already. So mailing me as a black person does not really remove anything from me. So what would you rather do? What you would rather do is to come and learn and ask, how are you doing it? At least your pastors come to learn. Your imam, they come to learn. Your sheikh, they come to learn. They have gotten to Ikpekwaye when they realize that Jesus cannot save them, that Allah cannot save them. It's just a rhetoric saying and repetition of words and fake faith and hope. It's just a personalized madness. But they want the real power. So they come behind and they ask for this power, and we share little with them. But because they don't want you to go out of their own service, because your own foolishness is translated to money for them, they will keep telling you not to go back to the basis and source. They will discourage you from going diabolical. So they become the one who have the monopoly of such power. The power that we don't even give them the original. So when they do abacadabra and they make you fall here, okay, now let me tell you something. When you truly fall and you think something touches you or electric shock and all that, do you know what they use for you? There's something we call aluwo in this way of life. Aluwo, were la fi aluwo mu, were la fi mu. What I just said is that there's something they call aluwo in Yoruba. We use it to tame mad people, fresh madness. So there are people whose profession is that when you have a relative or someone who is mad, conk madness in the market, so they come to call them. So what we do is we can either make it as a ring or any form. So when you point it in the direction of the mad person just go down, and it's as if they give him the Valium 5. So we'll slip off. We'll be able to capture that person. They will come down. The same aluwo is what they come to collect from us. So when they say come for deliverance service, you will be saying, you'll be falling down. You will now say it's the working of the Holy Spirit. There is nothing called working of the Holy Spirit. Because you are not mad. We are using a medicine for mad people on you. If you don't run for your life, those are strong charms, those are strong knowledge, those are strong powers that our ancestors gave us as inheritance to maintain social order. But we have silly babalawos who will do anything just to have money. They have been disenfranchised, really. People don't like to pay for the service of babalawo, so they will take every crumb that comes, irrespective of the law they are trying to break. They have children to send to school. They also want to be able to afford 3 square million. Look good. But you will not give them the money due to them. You will rather go and give tithe and offering to your pastor. When they have your birthday, you will give them cars upon cars, houses upon houses. But your pastors, out of the money, bring it to babalawo to take some, all of these things. So when you go to churches and you say, okay, I'm falling under the anointing and all that, aluwo ni no siwo. Aluwo ohun owo ti aniyan ti wa gba. Ó dẹ̀ yìí má padà ya wèrè ọ̀hún ni ńgbà tó ti ń lo àlùwò tó ti ń forí ẹ̀ ń ṣe testing. Now, your pastor will now take the Bible and begin to preach against us, to tell you that we are diabolical. Why? They want to poison you and take your focus away from your very source. Odò tó bá sì gbàgbé orísun yóò padà gbẹ ni. They want you to dry up. So they want to be the one who have access to the gate of this power. That's little wonder why you are the one that goes to church. You are the one that pay all the money, the tithe and all that. And they are the only one who drive the private jet. Why is your own limit not getting broken? Why are you not at any greater height? They give you different kind of themes. They know the secret. And they know that African spirituality is the secret of all these things. You want to talk to dead bodies. They call it necromancy. Their Bible says don't do that. Yeah, you can ask questions. There will be time for questions. Give me a minute. Let me just get through this. They would call it necromancy. We want justice for the dead body. We feel they have been killed unjustly. So I want to give you an assignment. When your relative dies, call your pastor. Tell your pastor to raise the dead body. Ask, how did you die and who killed you? They cannot do it. No matter how many times they shout the name of that Jesus. No matter the Tabati Ada Abelabi, Watamba and all that your imam say, they can't do. Whoever did it amongst them came to us. We know this knowledge. But because we have something they don't have, they call it diabolical. They say we are diabolical and we are practicing diabolism. They say we are diabolical. Now, I told you, diabolism is the power you do not have. When you feel disenfranchised, when you feel powerless, when you feel empty, which you should not. Whoever possesses the power and the knowledge of nature that you don't possess, you tag them as diabolical. It's so simple. However, there is no way you will practice African spirituality and you will not be tagged as diabolical, because it will hand over the power and the secrets of the world to you. So 5 people could sit down and one person will just run mad. The same air that every one of them is breathing is the same air that the one that run mad breathe. There was a message in the air for that particular person. So there's no way African spirituality will misroad. When we send it to you, it will get to you. Just you alone. The technology is there. And so because these people do not know how this thing run, they just call you diabolical and call you pagan. I'm looking forward to a time where someone will have a shirt like I'm wearing right now and say, I'm a pagan and I'm proud. So we rub it on their face that come, if you don't have what we have and you want access to it, you come kneel down to us and you beg for it and we share with you. Blackmailing laws will not do anything. When they brought Islam and Christianity, that still did not shut down African spirituality. So what they brought is religion. What we practice is spirituality. Religion is to make you serve a God. Spirituality is to make you become a God. That's the difference between what we do and what they do. Religion will make you serve a God. Spirituality will make you become the God. God in the sense that you have access to every knowledge of nature. And you absolutely understand all of this concept. So nobody is the gatekeeper of your power, of your sources, of your happiness. It should be so in our ways and in our lives that even as little children, the way they recite psalms, the way they recite, you will force your children to go to mosque as a Muslim and ensure they pass through both Tira and Quran. Some of you will even say, go and study the Ituma. But you are Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa. They don't know the history of your ancestors, and they don't know what your ancestors did that make the world fear them. But Mobadaku, Olawa Yajota Kwesi Lawuje, Tiopadaji. When your wife want to give birth and the child is misbehaving, Olorota Eje Tutun so. Tiopada wa ni worowo, ewe la ja ni o, egbo la wu ni o. Every one of us should have that knowledge. But look at you right now. You are empty. Plainly empty. You don't know the word to say when they call you in the midnight negatively. There are so many people we bury today and we say they rest in peace. There was never a peace when they're about to give up the ghost. Akpetambe, akpepambe. Èyàn ó sì mọ sùn lójú oorun wọn sì pé pa, yóò sì dáhùn. Bápẹ́ ẹni babaláwo tó ṣe àfẹ́ẹ̀rí fáyán ń ló ṣàrìnà kò fàdìyẹ. And I always tell you that it's not because someone hates you, but because they want to survive. If your sadness and your unfortunate incident or your calamity is what gives them joy, they will gladly make you unhappy in life. You are scared that they will see incision mark on your body? Is that why you are not protecting yourself? I told you a story about a man I met on a certain mountain when I was still a Christian. A very old man, a prophet, so to say. When we break the fast, he doesn't break with us. He just stayed very far. I went to him and I saw him eating bitter cola, bitter leaf, all those strange bitter stuff. And I went to him, I said, Baba, do you need something to eat? And the Baba said, no, he was given a contract to kill a certain politician. That what he does is to speak the word while he's eating something that is bitter and all that. And within 7 days, the man is going to die. Baba pe ki bati ni, yo pada ku ni. Now imagine the politician is defenseless. Doesn't matter who dies. As long as people make life worth living for themselves, they don't care. The world is a selfish place. But you are scared of being called diabolical. And you carry Bible all around. You carry Quran all around. Look at your life today. Is it better? People who tells you to turn against the way of your ancestors, they come back into the village. They send money home to make sure that egungun ile won won gbe, òòṣà ile won won bo, èṣù ile won won tepo si. So many of these pastors will give testimony how their church is growing. Why? Because they didn't remove the ancient landmark. That's what they say. Wọ́n mọ̀ fi owó ránṣẹ́ sílé láti ṣòro ìdílé lóòrèkóòrè. The result of their orekore or delay that they are doing is that you sit in their auditorium and you shout Jesus. The more Jesus you shout, the more money in their own bank account. And you need to come to reality that there is no one that is losing here. You are the one losing. You are the losing end every single time you leave the ancient pathway to jump on things that your ancestors did not give to you. So they will do everything to blackmail you. Carry your Shango with pride. Carry your Ogun with pride. Carry your Oya, carry your Yemoja with pride. Those elements of nature that you identify with is the reason why you are where you are. And you have a certain purpose in our society, which you must fulfill. So many people will come to me and say they have been attacked, people are coming against them. And when I try to examine what they are going through, it's because they do not align with the natural energy that they identify with. Ẹni tí wọ́n ń pè lọ́mọ omi yóò mọ̀ pé ayé òun bàjẹ́, wọ́n mọ̀ pé ó lẹ́gbẹ́. See, let me tell you, kò sẹ́ni tó lẹ́gbẹ́ láyé o, kò sì sẹ́ni tó lẹ́gbẹ́ lọ́run. That's the way for Babalawo to shop your money because they know you get scared. If you are identifying with water and you don't go to reconcile with water, either is Yemoja, Olokun, Oshun, Oba, and all that, your configuration will keep getting messed up. It's like having a car operated without reading the owner's manual. So it's an internal disorganization. Your internal system is disconfigured. And the moment your internal system is disconfigured, you will give way for external attack to come in easily. So any little thing can just take you down. It's like your immune system has been breached. So anything can just take you down. You will never come to me and my Ifa will tell you that Olegbe, ko segbe kankan bi kankan, oje marina fesegungo ki be mashejeni. Oh, ni egbe o. My brothers and sisters, oh, ni egbe kankan. Like a cooperative society. What I feel these men, these women should do is to help you reconcile yourself to your natural energy. Around 205 below me. We know those who identify with sun or fire. We know those who identify with earth. We know those who identify with air. Now, the limitation of Babalawo's knowledge will make him just mumble everything together and say you have Egbe. You get the point? And this is, they learn from most of this Celestial Church of Christ, or this white garment, they learn from these fake Babalawos, and they will also be using palm front to be beating you, just subjecting you to some kind of torture and torment. And see, your life is not better than before. The earlier you reconcile with the element of nature that you identify with, the better for you. But do you even know the element of nature? You will say it's diabolical. You begin to rebuke me in the blood of Jesus. But look at you right now. You are in the wrong field, the wrong profession, wrong location. You are frustrated in life. In those days, it was not like that. When we give back to these children, or So you need to come to reality that these people will do everything for you to be ashamed of yourself, to be very inferior in you, so they will call you diabolical. See, when people call you diabolical, just look at them as those who do not have access to the kind of power that you do have access to. They will build their shrines in form of churches, every corner street, every street corners. They will build their mosque at the entrance of all their houses. That's their shrine. They don't call themselves diabolical. But little shrine that you create for yourself, they will say you are diabolical. What are they scared of? The sky is big enough for everybody to fly. As long as I'm not doing human sacrifice, which they do, then you can call me that name. And if you do call me that name, it shows your ignorance about what I know. The limitation of your access to the power that nature gives is what makes you call me diabolical. They make you feel diabolical to the point of even saying your language is diabolical. Just because you speak fluent Yoruba, they will say you are diabolical already. And you allow them to do this to you. You shouldn't. I don't think it's fair on you or your ancestors. They fought. They shed their blood. They defended all these things and ensure they pass it across to you. But look at you today, you are ready to give it up at every single time that you face challenges in life. So let them mount their shrine. Let me mount my shrine. Call your God. Let me call my God. But emi ò ní ṣe bí fún ọ. I will not do evil against you. But now, why would you call me diabolical when you are trying to plan evil against me and it's not working? Then you say I'm demonic. You want to hurt me, but I built up a defense mechanism for myself. So you are sending women to me. Emisiti sinra. Bara mi ba ko obìnrin àjòjì. Oko mi ò rọ̀ ni. Yeah. This is a diversion for most of you men who are very promiscuous. You are risking your life. You are promiscuous and you don't have protection. Double wala for the body, the way Fela said it. See, there are some things we call vaccine. Ajesara is what they call vaccine. Or jesara ni. But about it, either they are harvesters, they are reaper, whatever they may be. Don't mind that. When she starts telling you that 2 minutes man, or you cannot even, you are impotent. Protect. Before they created condom, we have a way of protecting ourselves against all these things. You are a powerful person. You are a famous person. People who want to come against you. But when you watch a dirati, I don't know the English name. That's why I don't share charms or medicine on my platform. Most of them were given to me with Yoruba name. I don't know their English. Ewe kan be chan pe ni ewedo. But oba mu ewedo to oja, ido leaf and cook it with the meat of a pork. Also if àwọn àyájọ́ kankan sí. Beta ba nbe lórí àga rẹ̀. Bo jókòó sí ká ṣiṣẹ́. Kambele te ko to jókòó sí o ti mo ra pere. Ni ko ma ra alangba. And you are a politician, you go to meetings and all that. And you are just defenseless. Ọ àmà pé ọdẹdẹ yàwèrè lójú oorun ọ padà yàwèrè torí pé ògiri rẹ̀ ti lanu aláǹgbá wọ bẹ̀. Yorùbá ṣe díẹ̀ ọmọkùnrin ò tó ọ gbọ́dọ̀ jọ ọmọkùnrin mẹ́ta àtàbọ̀ ọ tún fàbọ̀lé. Wọ́n ní bọ́mọdé ò lé nǹkan ń lé. Either you offend them, they will come against you. You don't offend them, they will come against you. It is when they don't conquer you, they now call you diabolical. How do you know I'm diabolical if you have not been trying to harm me? Ṣé mi ó wà náà gẹ̀rẹ̀ ń lanú lẹ̀? Wọ́n á jẹ́ call me, oh God. Kò rí ẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. So they will go to the mountain, they will give their pastors huge money to protect them. For little things that they taught you. To protect yourself, they will say you are diabolical. And you allow them to work on your emotion, to blackmail you, to discriminate against you. They have freedom of worship. Why can't you have freedom of worship? So what's the correlation between diabolism and African spirituality? It's simple. The correlation is that African spirituality makes you become diabolical. And diabolism simply means having access to power that other people don't have access to. In those days when our fathers want to travel. And the way too far is too far. They can just use Kanoko. Kanoko just shorten, they call it Abuja. They shorten it. Before you know, they are there. Sometimes they get there before you. In those days when we were having original Oni of Ife, the original Oni of Ife, you can't even summon Oni of Ife to come out of his palace. It's these days that I see Oni of Ife, if you mess up the old throne and mess up the old office. Àwọn bàbá òun bó bá ránṣẹ́ pè hàn. In fact, it is too cumbersome for Oni of Ife to leave the palace. It is a great financial burden on every kingdom that he will pass through, because every kingdom, every king in every kingdom need to vacate their kingdom and throne. If Oni of Ife leaves Ile Ife today and get to Iwo, the king of Iwo will have to vacate and go outside, because Oni of Ife will have to stay in the palace and be the king of that day. And when he's going, he have to go with tribute. So when he want to shorten the whole thing, Baba Oko disappear. Baba Oko disappear. Don't want to bother people, and it is rare. The way the Oba of Benin do not leave the palace. I'm not talking about the current Oba of Benin. They are celebrity Obas now. We have a lot of them. Of those celebrity kings that we have, they mess up the old tradition and all that. These people know the way. So they call them diabolical. Why? They know what you don't know. So I want to pluck a leaf from a tree to heal me. I speak to the tree first. And there's a time of the day we don't pluck a leaf from a tree, because we believe that a wait is soon. It is a root. It is rude for you to pluck a leaf from 6 p.m. downward. Are you getting my point? So all those understanding and knowledge, we possess them, and they say we are diabolical. So if you don't know the way of life, come, let us teach you. Let us show you the way. Stop hating. Hating will not help you. It will not still connect you back to your source. Are you with me? So that's the correlation between African spirituality and diabolism. You can start typing your questions now. Let me answer a question and we get out of here. That's the correlation between African spirituality and diabolism. Because African spirituality is about creating gods, not about worshipping a god. In African spirituality, we don't even believe in the sky god. A sky god does not exist in our own concept of spirituality. We are the gods we are looking for. We understand every length and breadth, the deep of the world and the universe. Through the power of the word, our word, the words of our mouth, we create life, we make things come into reality with the words of our mouth. They call it incantation. Incantation is the language of nature. Incantation is the language of nature. For example, alekpe agbening dun wari wari, aluko ama dun warun warun, ashemo ga dun mapai yo kere jafe. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm going to a point where I will redeem life from those whose life is being snuffed out by the elders, and to help them negotiate their way out of it. But because you don't understand what I'm saying, you run away and you say I'm diabolical. So I said, agbetin gbere pade olokun ko ma gbere pade olokun mo aloko. Ngbere pade olosa ko ma gbere pade olosa mo. Atori tutu, atori gbe ti nbe nile yi ki won ma parapo gbere pade mi lagbaja omo lagbaja. I'm only claiming what is mine. To ba won e ko na gere ko lanu le. You keep quiet now. Don't say the same thing. Let the best force win. But in our lives today, we have seen those language of nature to be something that is so, evil. These are things you can understand. Language of nature, we have simplified it to the point you can understand. Between incantation and speaking in tongue, which one is more sensible? So you would prefer to say Brakatabalabati ma ligatakumoto raputo piki yemetahu le klama shuba batiba pro pakati yamati kilo so. You will say devil does not understand. She was going to so she understand. Take poti yawere. They say, open your mouth and begin to pray in the spirit. Which spirit? They say it's a heavenly language that you will not, that devil will not understand. If what also God will understand. Etijo Yahweh. Mishekteti, Mishekteti, Mishekteki. And somebody will now say, I'm interpreting. Elija Ramu, Elika Muta, Elika, Iwo me, means of what we pay, or in your pay, or Jete Lu, Sakama G, 419, will be 419. But you will be quick to blackmail me and say me, I'm say, but got also obey sense you are gone, or to your new sons, or one create a new son. Yeah? So you are not diabolical. When you worship your Mary, when you worship your Jesus, when you call your Jesus, and you call the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if I call Oya Asha Lara, you are calling people's ancestors, people that you are not related to. Are you with me? People, are you with me? So we need to come to places and begin to teach ourselves the truth about African spirituality. I might not know much about African spirituality using Igbo concept or Hausa concept, but I know the nitty-gritty of it using Yoruba concept. And I believe it's applicable. It is universal for all. Any tribe, any race, any people of any nation can practice this Yoruba spirituality. It's so simple. And we are trying our best to even relate with you in English language so that it can cut across everybody. But then, you know, we have to come to a basis where we are proud of what we have. We can't have the white men, the Chinese men, the Asian men coming to our inbox, writing up mail, sending us money and all that, telling us to induct them into the sacred order, while you are rebuking us with the blood of Jesus. So be free to be called Omo Ishu, Omo Ogun, Omo Igba, Omo Awo. Be free to be called diabolical. They will blackmail you. That's what your ancestors fought. The Crusader came with their blood, with their sword. They called them Knight Templars. They killed your ancestors, but your ancestors retained the knowledge. The Mujahideen came with their sword. They fought jihad against your ancestors. They retained the knowledge. Is it now that nobody can just come and kill you anyhow, that you will now give up on the knowledge? So what can we make of you? So when you lose your identity and your source, what kind of a human being are you? Every nation is proud of their own ancestry and their spirituality, except Africans. Because you care about what people say. What then would they say? Imagine I don't want to push things, and I'm so careful about what people will say. How will I know you? And we keep helping hundreds of people who have tried Jesus. Is not helping. Who have tried Muhammad, it's not helping. And we are not saying this to mock them, but we are happy they got results. Even though they are not so proud to tell the world that they got the result here. So when we help them, they still go to church and do testimony and say, Master Jesus did this for me. Aye Jesu oni da. Tu veux que marche la son. C'est lágbára mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ àwọn sàbí ànábì àjò àkútù kú sàbí ànábì mi kì í tán bá wà. So that's basically it about diabolism in African spirituality. People don't know what you know. People don't possess what you possess. They call you diabolical because they don't have the power. The moment they have access to the power, it is no more diabolical. They call it power. Oh, we are powerful. We are extraordinary. We are supernatural, and all of those things. And those who have sold us out, who have been the power broker of the religion of the invaders amongst us, we ensure they do everything to make you feel less of yourself and not access this your African spirituality. Don't let people in MFM tell you it's the power from your father's house. Something that is not even expensive. Something that under 5,000, 10,000, you will do what you have to do, and your way will just go through. You spend 6 months trying to go through pre-deliverance session before you now see one GO. Why are you cheating yourself? I ask you. So we start asking questions, and you can start putting your questions now, and we go ahead with it. By the way, if you need consultation, if our consultation you want to take a step, even up to the point of wanting to get married. Our ancestors need to check if you're compatible. You want to take a step, you want to travel. Kọ́ má padà di bọ́ ti lọ ló ti bọ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ti lọ lu èyìnbó tí yẹ pé bí wọ́n ti lọ ní wọ́n ti bọ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló jẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ yẹn ò gbé wọ́n. Ṣùgbọ́n ojú tì bí ká má padà wá dé ní goloto ni wọ́n fi jẹragun sàn. Sometimes what you need to do, if I can just tell you, okay, you are destined to be a farmer, you are destined to be this, and you do it just lọ́wọ́ lámìlaka. Ọ̀jẹ̀ èèyàn. I always use myself as an example. If I ever knew that it's going to be being a babalawo, if a priest that will make my life better and give me peace of mind in life, maybe I wouldn't bother to waste money going for all those degrees that I went for and wasting my time with Jesus or Muhammad. No. So first is saying that what about those who see glimpses of the future and are pastors not those fake predictions? You have to know that everyone is a spiritual being. Everyone is a spiritual being. If you don't call Jesus, you can still see the future. Even those who are called pagans, they see visions and they dream dreams. So it's not a monopoly of one person. So having a title Jesus or pastor does not mean that's why you see vision. All mankind see, all mankind know. As long as you are a product of nature, there is nothing happening inside the universe or nature that you should not be aware of. Things are meant to happen for you, not to you. When things happen to you, it is accident. When things happen for you, you know it. But how quiet are you to understand? How observant are you? And to make it easy, we use the Ifa divination system to know, no stressing of yourself. That's why Babalawo would live a very sacred life. You will not catch me in a party. You will not catch me in a club. You will not catch me with alcohol. You will not catch me with all those things. It is a dedication, service to humanity at the beckoning of nature. And so I could dream. I could see vision. I could go into trance as a Babalawo. Nothing should happen to me by surprise. I could know more about you touching your hands or even knowing your mother's name. Everyone can be that. I'm not your general overseer. I cannot oversee you. I might guide you, put you in the right way. And I don't expect you to work with me for 1 year and not be fully where I am. I will be useless teacher if you are forever my student. You should get to a point where you are graduating, when you become a master of your own and understand the way of life. You've been going to church since when you are little. You are 40, 45, 60, 70. You still go to church. Every day you go. So one man is the general overseer of your own life, the bishop of your own life. You walk back, bishop overseer of ayetiwo. It does not exist in African spirituality. Babalawo primarily his job is to teach all that he knows to the people that come to him, so that they can also be a reflection of him when he's gone. So that's why we don't have documentation of Ifa and all that. We don't have documentation because we will knowledge to one another. We pass it across. It is called oral theory, oral understanding. Oh, si ilé-iṣẹ́ African spirituality kórí ẹ má pé ogun sọ̀yè tó gbóná ń bẹ, gbogbo dùfá gbọ́dọ̀ ń bẹ lórí rẹ̀, gbogbo àfọ̀ṣẹ gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ lórí. Sometimes it is not what you have been taught. Mo kò gbé wá ni, ìṣẹ̀dá ó kò gbé wá fún ọ ni. Also, you get the point. So you should get to a point when you are moving with a true Babalawo who is not about your money, that you also are able to do, even if it is the rudiment things. This is what I do. When I'm consulting for a family like husband, wife, and all that, whichever one of them is available, I just teach one and tell the one to do for the rest. If the man is available, I teach the man. As a matter of fact, if I come to your home, I have no right to touch your wife, except you are not there. Except your wife came behind you and I don't know you exist or something, or you don't subscribe to her way and she needs solution. It is not my right as Babalawo to touch the head of your wife or the body of your wife. I should teach the man of the house. The man of the house should also be the priest over his own family. But look at you today. Your wife respects your pastor more than you. But you are okay with that. Your wife respects your sheikh more than you. Àwọn ṣe ni wọ́n jẹ ọbẹ̀ ìyàwó rẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ilé jẹ́ pé ọmọ tẹ́ ń rèsì gan pastor àti sheikh wọn ni ó bí. Wọ́n máa báyàwó yín lẹ́yìn. Gbogbo doggy style tí wò lè báyàwó rẹ̀ ṣe, pastor àti sheikh ní ńlá. owó tó bá sì fún ìyàwó rẹ kó fi ṣararindin ni ó padà lọ lè kó fún pásítọ̀ wá ayé ẹ bó ṣe rí ayé ẹ dàbí ọ̀jìbra kò sọ jí ara ẹ. Jason is asking, but why would Europeans try to join African spirituality? Won't they be doing the same thing that Africans are doing, running away from their roots, which you are advising us not to? Why allow that? Well, they really don't feel confident in their root. What root does an European have? What root do they have? Before Europeans encountered Africans, what invention did they make? Before the Greek people, before these Europeans encountered us as Africans, what was their invention like? What was their story like? So they cannot even tell our story beyond slavery, because it was when they met us that they began to develop. But they know that the theoretical aspect of every invention they need is hidden in African spirituality. Ifa contains politics, but a Babalawo might not be a politician. Ifa contains the most complex mathematics, but Babalawo might not be a mathematician. So what they do is to come and learn the theory, and they invent it as practical, and they sell it back to you. So while you are running away from your root, they are there coming to get it. Somebody say, what about the aspect of seeing the future? So I ask you, why are you stressing yourself about seeing the future? If we show you what is lying ahead of 2021, would you not run? Of all your pastors that was, I decree, this is what 2020 will be. Which of them know that 2020 will be like this? None of them guessed it correctly. But when we went for Okeitase, our yearly Ifa divination, we knew how this year is going to be. But will you listen to us? So those of us who prepared, I had the greatest achievement of my life this year. It's not only Jeff Bezos or the guy who owns Tesla that 2020 was good for. It was good for me. I'm telling you. Why? I knew ahead. I prepared ahead. This is my best year since I've been living. The year of coronavirus is my best year since I've been living. And many that also put their ear to the ground to know what Ifa is saying about during Okeitase. Okeitase is where your GO and your bishops, they come to join us there. Wọ́n bí wọn re kí wọ́n má wá. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ẹ pé wọ́n lọ sọ̀sọ́kìsọ ni, àmọ́ fìkan, àmọ́ fọ̀rọ̀ sábì àwọn sọ fún wọn. The ones that didn't come will go and talk rubbish. They will talk in the nonsense. They have misled you. Each of them know that something like this will happen. So somebody is saying, DJ 4 Cool is saying that, what about Christmas? Can we celebrate it since it's a pagan celebration? Pagan of who? Paganism of who? Is that your local celebration? Paganism is attaining divinity through your own local traditional way. Can you be so eager about a Gungu festival, or Jigbo festival, or Oshun festival, or Ogun festival, or Oya festival, or Shango festival, the way you are happy about Christmas? Christmas is a day dedicated to this Greek god called Zeus. The Greek god called Zeus. Zeus? Jesus? Are you a Greek? Are you a Greek person? You are not. Let them celebrate their Christmas. Celebrate your own Ogun, Oya, and the rest. January 1st is not your new year as a Yoruba person. It is July 3rd. Every July 3rd is the beginning of our own calendar year. Our calendar is not Gregorian calendar. It is called Kojoda. Kojoda. How many of those Orisha do you celebrate as a person? You are eager to celebrate Easter, which is Ishtar. You are eager to celebrate Christmas and Idu, Mikini, Idu, Bayuri, but you will not ever celebrate your own ancestors. So if you like, celebrate. If you like, don't celebrate. But the more you celebrate, you join them. The more foolish they look at you as. Somebody is asking, what's Oro Idile? Oro Idile is a set of rules and rights that should be done, that is done in a certain family. It differs from family to family. It is mainly done for the children, newborn baby of that family, as a way to continue the lineage in that particular family. Somebody say, what about seeing the future? Some pastors genuinely, you want the future, Mr. Futuristic. If I actually tell you about the future, the nearest future, àmọ́ bóni ti rí ọ̀la ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀, in ló mú babaláwo ń dífá ọrọ̀run. You cannot be so certain. Obìnrin láyé ń yí ni, obìnrin láyé. So we divine every single morning. A babalawo wake up every morning to divine. How is today going to be? Don't be anxious. Don't be and calm down. Why do you even want to know the future? Today I have enough for trouble. Can you deal with the trouble of today? Tó bá ti dọ̀la, how to mobile how ṣe. Take it one step at a time. Come on, ya wèrè o. How did you discover yourself? Oh, that's a question for another day. I will talk about this some other time. I've always been a restless person since I was a child. I've always been a non-conformist, a restless human being. I've always pondered. I've always asked questions. There are times I ask myself questions because my parents were not entertaining them. And there are times I had to go out of home to ask questions. When I was going to mosque, I was asking questions. Because all those concepts of heaven, malaika coming to your graveside, could make sense to me. He will beat me. So when I read Quran, I went back to read Ituma. When I went back to read the Ituma of the Arabic alphabet, I think jargons ni mo shas. Like Ijebu people will say. So I went to church, still looking for peace. And I became a pastor in Redeemed Christian Church of God. I went to Bible college. I have my PGD in theology. See, your way out of a chain that holds you bound is inside a chain. Every chain has a lock. So you cannot find yourself outside the chain. You cannot remove yourself from the chain outside the chain. For you to become a non-Muslim person, read the Quran very well with an objective. Don't let anybody tell you to use spiritual. When you want to stop becoming a Christian, go and read the Bible. Inside the Bible, your freedom is there. Okoriko make sense here. You get? However, Ifa has always been in my ancestry, so I just went back home. Become easy. But that's a tough for another thing. Somebody say you speak of Ifa and Eshu, all under African spirituality. What about that of the other tribes, such as Igbos? Is they similar to the Yoruba spirituality? Yes, like we have Amadioha. It's equivalent to Shango here. It's equivalent to Shango here also. They have their different stuff also. How else they call Eshu in Igbo? I'm not an Igbo person, so I wouldn't know. African spirituality is similar in all sphere. Like what we call Ifa here is called Afa in Akan, back way in Ghana. The same divination system. I wish millions of Yoruba could attend your messages. They will in the future, either by force or by, because they will always come back home. That's why we make as much recordings as possible. They will come across it. Okay, somebody is asking, as an Igbo, is it best to practice Igbo or Yoruba African spirituality? Please go back home. Go to your home. However, in the absence of connecting with your people, you can start with this one. You will realize that everything you learn from this one, it will be like a revision when you get back home. When you get back home, it is going to be a revision. You go all the way to Kenya, go all the way, the Zangoma of South Africa, you will see similarity in all we do. It is called indigenous faith of Africa. Ifa is indigenous faith of Africa, and that is the most recognized system of divination in the world till today. It cut across all race, all color, everyone. So Ifa is not one Orisha. Ifa is called indigenous faith of Africa. That's how best the white man could understand it. Ifa is an abbreviation, so it cut across. So if you are Igbo, you come. What you will see, what will divine for you here is what your people will define for you here. Any other question? So I wish I could understand Yoruba. It's obvious our ancestors did not document those things. How are you ensuring this will not repeat itself and all in our generation? We try as much as possible. Let's create forum, or is it fora, or what do they call it? Symposium. Let's organize conventions. Let's organize the way they have Congress, convention, and all that. Let's organize it also, and from there we'll have scholars who will be able to document what we are saying. It's cumbersome for me to go and take up that. I divine for people every day, and it's quite busy. It's quite busy. It's quite busy for me. It's scheduled for me. Maybe in the nearest future. Okay. Somebody say, what if those who grew up as Christians and everything has been going well for them? Do they have any reason not to believe in it? Also, how is it possible that if it has been working, how is it possible that it has been working for them? See, in this way of life, choose what you will. Choose your own poison, but don't complain when things begin to go haywire. The sensitization and the awareness I'm creating is that, does it make sense to you to leave your own root and cling on to another person's root? Like the root of ugu leaf is going to cling to the root of efo tete. Even though they are both vegetable, they will die. It will die. Stay in your lane. You cannot outsmart the Western folks with that Christianity. They will surely outsmart you. They will. So I'm saying, be in the place of your jurisdiction. You are a fish, stay in the water. You are a lion, stay in the jungle. Don't be a lion and be swimming in the river. You will drown. Somebody is asking, what does Ifa say about sexuality? I will not want to go into deep of that, but then in this way of life, we do not condemn any form of sexuality except pedophile. Except pedophile. I hope you know that the LGBTQ symbol, which is the called pride, is what we call Oshumare here. The rainbow is what we call Oshumare here. We know that Olodumare reflects his love through us, to us through Oshumare. What is Olodumare? The sun. The sun reflects his power and his colorfulness through a pigment of water that forms the rainbow. And that is to tell you that the sun is the father of all kind of color, all races, and all that. So in African spirituality, there is nothing like killing the homosexual, whatever it is. The highest we can do is to make them the eunuch in the palace, so they don't get to impregnate the Yawoba. Sorry, we'll deal with that some other time. We have a certain deity called Obatala, Obataisa. We believe is in charge of molding people's head, both male and female. So in that wise, Obatala is unisex. Is it unisex or what do they call them? Both male and female at the same time. There's no discrimination. What else? We'll answer one or two more questions. Somebody said, if the Igbo should go back home, what about people of the America and Europe that feel attracted to Ifa? Yeah, they are coming in their hundreds and all that, and we're trying to make sure that we don't sell our birthright again. There are so many of my friends who are inducting these people into our sacred order, but I will not do that. I will not induct a European into sacred order, no matter how much thousands you give to me. No, we will not be a slave again. Differentiate between Oro Idile and Akose Jaye. Oro Idile, like I said before, is the ritual or rite done like a default setting of every child in a home. Akose Jaye is the kind of life this child is coming to live, the path and the pattern of the person's life. It is during Akose Jaye we know this person is reincarnated. What reincarnation is this person? What are their allergies? What are their AWOL? What can they eat? What can they not eat? What clothes can they wear? What kind of woman can they marry? What kind of man can they settle with? What job is their profession in life? So they don't make so much mistake and end up frustrated. It is those who do not have Akose Jaye or way to guide their life that start looking for motivational speaker to come and motivate them. No wonder many of you go to church and you want somebody to ginger you. Holy communion How can we contact you for spiritual lead, and what advice can you give people in diaspora? The advice I can give to people in diaspora is to come back home, not physically. If you can't physically, it's okay, but come home to yourself. Be proud of yourself. Start with speaking your own language, dressing according to your own clothing, and then being proud of your own ancestry. Stop letting people tell you that you are descendant of devils or demons. No. And also put your ear to the ground and learn the rudiment of who you are and your root. Maybe by joining this kind of platform and every other platform that talks about African spirituality. If you want to contact me, you can send a DM, or you can just say Aboruboye to my WhatsApp 08078384845. 08078384845. Again, 08078384845. Or you can send me an email, babayobawa@gmail.com. You can also access our website. I have so many information for you on our website, babayoba.org. Somebody is saying, I have come to learn that many of the Igbo are Catholic and Christian and reject traditional because so I can connect. I don't get that. We can repeat that later. I watched you on Franklin's show on YouTube this morning. It is amazing. I really love your expression. Thank you very much for that. And kudos to Franklin also. I've not rested since I went to his platform. People have been buzzing. Thank you. We'll be on Franklin's platform at least once every week. And I think we should focus more of sharing knowledge with Africans so that we can lose this chain of mind enslavement. Then we can go save the black. Can the sickness be reversed? Yes, if it is inflicted through the power of words. Sometimes people inflict sickness on themselves because of their negative confession or through the power of words of someone else who is trying to attack them. Now know that as long as you are a human being, water is in you, fire is in you, earth is in you, air is in you. When I say the air when I manipulate the air against you, when I manipulate the water against you, when I manipulate the earth that you step on against you, knowing that there's nothing that is called non-living thing in this concept. Everything that is made up, that you are made up of, is an element of nature that responds to words. If I know the right words to say, that the water in you should begin to work against you, you will be in the hospital in the next seconds. You will be in the hospital in the next seconds. However, I always advise people, when your health is down, go to the hospital first. Let's check the medical aspect of it. If they can't find anything, then we can trace it with African spirituality. If it is inflicted upon you with words, it is the same word we use to take it out. Are you getting my point? So that's the thing. Sickness can be reversed if it is manually inflicted by people through the instrument of word, either by you or someone else. And if it is also, natural stuff, basic hygiene, diet watching and all that can really help you. Ifa will tell us what is happening to you. So we check it and then we move on from there. Okay. All right. So some people got my number. Type it down. Somebody is saying it is Obaruboye. Obaruboye. What is the correlation between Obaruboye? When you say Obaruboye, Oba Oruboye, that the king made sacrifice successfully. Is he a king that is an herbalist? What we say is Aboru Aboye. Ki Eboru Keboye. Babalawo amadahun pe Aboye Bosise Ebotiye Ebotise. You are mafikun pe Ogbo Ato Aiku Airon. It's a form of greeting for us. When you say Aboruboye, I say Aboye Bosise Ogbo Ato Aiku Airon. In a nutshell. All right, so I guess that's all the questions we'll be taking for today. But before we log off, we say, what is the original African word for time? Time is akoko. Akoko. Season is igba. 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 Time and season. You get? So that's what we have. All right, so you can send me a DM if you have more questions, and if you want to consult and all that. But don't you ever feel intimidated if someone call you diabolic. That's your problem. Let them bring their Goya oil. You bring your betu. Let them bring their tira. Are they not tying tira up and down? When you go to their houses, you see tira at the edge of their house. Only you check in penny. Small time you now be quoting the book of Ecclesiastes. Shame me Johnny was loju e. or you'll be talking to me and be saying according to the book of Philippians. Mo jọ ará Philippines lójú ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kó rí pé o. Bó bá ti lè bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ojú Ifá, rọra sọ ntọ́ ọmọ, má gbé mi padà sí the Bible. You're daft. Nigerians are coming here to lecture a babalawo when they clearly have no clue. Learn and educate yourself, my people. Stop the pettiness here. Oh, well, thank you very much. All right, so that's about the broadcast today. I think I saw one person on the broadcast today. Is it Lekon King Kong? We see, frankly, we see Jamalodo. We see a lot of our people, wonderful people. Thank you very much for joining us today, and wish to have more of you. Till the next time we see again. Yóò dára fún wa, ayé wa ò ní polúkúrú muṣu wa ò ní kú sọ́nà bí èéfín. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún wa. Àwọn tí ń fẹ́ tí a yóò máa dára fún wọn. Wọ́n pa aláṣẹ wọn ọ̀dà alábàá lónìí nítorí pé kọ́ṣẹ́kọ́ṣẹ́ báyìí di tèlá kọ̀ṣẹ́. Ní ìjókòó kọ́dún yóò fi parí. Ìgbégbégbé tó ń gbọ́ káàkiri wọn ò ní gbé sẹ́ńkùlé rẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí ń bọ́ fàtà ọ̀fọ̀ káàkiri tí ń sunkún àbòsí káàkiri wọn ò ní yà ní ọ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ rẹ o. Àkóbá àdábá ọ̀ ní bá wọn rárìn fẹsẹ̀ sí. Ọjọ́ ebi bá ń palé ọ jáde, ọjọ́ ebi bá ń pọ̀nà ọ dòlé. Wọn wá ní fi ọ̀rọ̀ pò ẹni tí wọ́n fi ṣẹ́ṣó. Àwọn gbọ́mọgbọ́mọ ò ní gbé ọlọ́mọ lọ, o sì ní rárìn fẹsẹ̀ sí ibi tí ẹ̀kọ́ wà lásìkò tí ẹ̀kọ́ wà ń bẹ̀. Eléyìí ni ó mọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ọ. Àlékún owó, àlékún ọlá, àlékún ire, àlékún iyì yóò mọ̀ bá ọ. Lónìí ìwọ ti rúbọ alárùká kí wọ́n má rù ọ̀ka mọ́. O ti rúbọ oṣó kóṣó má ṣù ọ. O ti rúbọ àjẹ́ kájẹ́ ó má pa ọ jẹ. Ayé rẹ ó dára. Ọ̀nà rẹ ó là. Yóò ní ìtumọ̀, yóò ní gbọgbọ́n nú. Àṣẹwà báyìí ní tìrèké. Gbogbo tó bá ti fẹnu rẹ sọ láti níyà lọ kó máa dàṣẹ kó máa dìmúlẹ̀. Ìwọ ló wá ṣọ́ra o kó fẹnu rẹ fárẹ o torí ẹnu la fi pé tèmẹdìrẹ. Yóò dára fún yín ó dìgbà kan náà. And don't forget to follow Baba Yoruba on Instagram at Baba_Yoruba, and also on Facebook and on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you see the broadcast of all this program Baba Yoruba on YouTube, or you can just follow all other channels that we put in it. Thank you very much, and àwọn alálẹ̀ ó gbé wa ó dìgbà kan náà. Ire o.